Hey guys! Today I just want to do a quick update on my new NSR rail setup for my AR-15. I recently added this Noveske NSR handguard and I already did a video on it, but I've since added my Magpul AFG2 back on and also my Surefire Mini Scout Light. The AFG2 actually does put my wrist at a more comfortable angle, which I really like, and it also gets some OD green back on my rifle, which it was definitely missing. So I really like this new setup. I did have to add a rail section to the bottom of my NSR handguard to put the AFG2 on. And one thing I would like to point out is that since this forend is so narrow, even with these NSR panels on it, adding the rail section to the bottom causes the AFG to sit further away from the handguard than the rest of the panels. Whereas on a quad rail system, all accessories would be mounted the same distance from the handguard. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, Noveske does sell NSR rail sections that go on really easy from the outside, like this 5-slot one. But I wanted to see if I could find a rail section that was even lower profile than this so I could get my hand as close to the handguard as possible. And it turns out that the rail section that is included with a Magpul RVG vertical grip is lower than any other rail section I could find. And this is what that one looks like. It is also lower than the other Magpul MOE rail sections, but it only comes with the RVG, and the RVG only comes with one of these. I'll go ahead and compare it with the Noveske one here, so you can see that it is lower. I have got 3 of these, and I'll go ahead and show you. I've got 2 on right now. One here and one in the middle. I am going to add the 3rd one in the back. The only problem is they've only got 2 slots, as you can see. So I had to move them around a bit to get the AFG in the right position. There is a little bit of play in these key mod slots, so you can slide them back and forth a bit before you tighten them down, and you can get the slots lined up pretty close to where you need them. Also, it was pretty difficult for me to install these backer plates that came with the RVG rail section. I actually had to hold each one of these inside the rail with a dental pick while I tried to line up the screw through the rail from the outside, and it was a little bit awkward. Also, I had to find shorter hex head screws than what came with it, because this is the length that came with this rail section, and this is the one I ended up purchasing to use, and it worked a lot better. These ones that came with it were so long that they actually touched the barrel when I tightened them down. As I mentioned, I also put my Surefire Mini Scout Light back on because I got my new Gear Sector Scout mount in the mail. My previous Gear Sector Scout mount was a slide-on design, so it had to be slid down the entire rail from either the front or the back to get it where it needed to be. And I had to remove my iron sights and my optic to put it on from the back, since my front sight post blocks the front of my rail system. And as I mentioned in my previous NSR video, that older style mount wouldn't slide on this NSR rail because it caught right here on the bottom where this rail hangs down lower than my upper. This is both the older and the newer style of Gear Sector Scout mount, and this is the older one, which, as you can see, it is pointed on both sides, which is why it had to be slid onto the rail. As you can see, it's pointed there and it's pointed there. But this newer Gear Sector mount is a rock-on design, which means it is pointed on one side, but it is flat on the other here. So it can be rocked on from this side and then clamped down from this side. So you can install it anywhere on your rail system without having to remove anything or having to slide it on from an end. This is the clamp that comes with the Scout mount, and as you can see, it is pointed on the edge. So when you clamp it in on the side with the flat edge, you just put it in like that, screw it in, and then you can see that point in there, and that's what holds it to your rail. You just catch your lip on your rail and rock it on, and you clamp it down on the flat side. And it's just a much more convenient little mount. So, thank you guys for watching today, and I'll see you later. Bye.